Time success because you're more restricted now that you're a famous person. Now you can't do. Look
now I got 8 cars. I got 8 houses to pay for. You think I'm gonna do the thing that's gonna make me broke?
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freeze in full effect.
Like no, but for real, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't.
Down to it,
I've had 8 children. I gotta feed them. Like
I can't not do this. Now I have to do this.
Yeah.
You know, forget about being broken.
A slave to your success.
You know, and it's like that. It makes it harder. So it's like the more you go up, the harder it will be. And that's the distraction. That's what people say. You know what? I'm here and it's kind of easy. I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it. I'm the king of the hood. I know a lot of kings of their neighborhood. Oh yeah, yo, I used to do this and that, and it's like, oh, you reached that cap, and I'm sure at some point when you were my age or whatever, you feel like this was too hard. I can't do it anymore, and I'm gonna stay here. I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, look at that.
You know, I feel like, damn, this. You know, I'm trying to find work, or you're trying to find this. You're trying to be a man in this society. You're trying to be a woman. I feel for women every day. You know, I have a daughter, and I'm scared. I'm scared for female friends of mine all the time, because how hard it is to be a woman in society. And it's like, geez, like, can you imagine just giving up?
The opposite side of look at Dave Chappelle.
Right.
You grow. You're doing what you love. You love it. You're talking. He was like subversive. Like he was totally on that.
He loved it.
You know, loved what he was doing. And then they offered him $80 million, however that big that contract was, and he went crazy on it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. He did everything he wanted to.
Right.
Dave Chappelle's a man who said, "Yo, I did what I wanted.
I'm good."
And now they want to give me $80 million for what? So hold on,
now
I can't say this. Yeah, but it was what they were saying was he wanted to change the course and stop kind of demoralizing black people. He was cooning black people out by constantly making fun of only black people.
And he didn't want to do that.
And he didn't want to do that anymore. And he said, look, I can do comedy by not doing that. And they was like, well, comedy been working because Dave Chappelle was a huge hit. So
but then they owned the show.
You signed that contract, so now you have to.
Well, I remember the interview he had, and he said it was cool until one day we were filming, and I realized that they were
the Nigger Family skit.
The Nigger Family skit, and they were laughing at me, and that's I think what set him off.
And Robert Townsend talks about that a lot. Like being a black comedian is hard because you have to kind of play a black role.
Look at Paul Mooney.
Like Tyler Perry. All his movies are cliche black. And why do we always have to?
Issue I have with bringing up Tyler Perry though.
Cliche black all the time.
I get what you're saying, that like Tyler is making cliches of black people. But at the same time, the only reason that we're looking at Tyler Perry's crazy is because there's no other, there's nothing else to compare him to. Like when White America does, they have a million types of movies. So they have stoner movies, they have these movies, they have these movies, they have these movies, and like because there's such a breadth of different types of movies, we're not looking at every one of them and being like, that's so stereotypical. But the thing about it is that because there's only 1 or 2 types of black movies, we're like, God, why are you gonna make that kind of movie? And it's like, because I feel like Tyler Perry is a good example of like, it's not like he had money he was on the chitlin, so like he really wanted to make this type of, he isn't being used by any like person, like this is his artistic expression.
He is,
exactly. And these are people that maybe he's obviously like getting a little out there, but these are types of example. And the reason the reason a lot of people find it funny is because we see some of those types of examples too. But the problem I have with it is he's the only one doing it. So we pit him, you're so bad, you're so this, Spike Lee goes off on him, but like, Spike Lee needs to, then everyone else needs to promote black,
well, Spike Lee couldn't really do what he wanted to do in the film industry because he didn't get as big as
a Tyler Perry.
But so are people dogging Tyler because they're hating?
I think it's like a black exploitation,
yeah, it is. I mean, we need to get out of this mentality. The things that we see on TV that they portray of black people, we laugh because it's
look at the Cosby Show.
It's funny.
Look at the Cosby Show. Why can't Tyler Perry have, and it was
well,
like.
Why does Tyler Perry have to do it? Here's what my point to that is why does Tyler Perry have to be the one to do it? What we need to be doing is getting directors up in these schools, black people, like. So my thing is to put all of that on him, like that's his problem, and he like whether you like it or don't, because there's tons of stuff that I like or don't like. So I just think that like we're putting that on him. And what's funny is that when he makes movies that aren't Medea movies, they sell less. So we're going to it. We're seeing it. Like we're finding some connection with it.
Well, I'm not.
So not me personally, but people are. And it's not. When I go to the theater to see a Tyler Perry, it's not white people in the movie theater.
I know.
It's 99.9%.
But if you really look at his films, and I will say this, they all have an empowering, positive message. They really do, and you cannot knock that. Whatever you want to say about Tyler Perry, I always walk away from his film having learned something. And to me, at the end of the day, if you're going to be a voice in media, be that. You know what I mean? Don't be out there putting out craziness and trash and X, Y, and Z because of the dollars. He's just happened to be successful because he hustled. He hustled hard.
Why in every one of his movies do black women have to be like this cliche, bitter, black, angry woman, or some woman who has went through a life of like hardship?
I mean, he is targeting a certain audience. Yes. Is there anything wrong with that? That audience.
I mean, I guess not, but it's not so interesting to me.
I think that there's something wrong with that. I think when you get, Tyler Perry, who was making theater movies and black thing, and then this is the people that come to see it. But now you have actually have the power to say, I'm gonna do this, I want to do this, and I can do it now. Now it's not, I have a script and I have to fit in. Now Tyler Perry can change his mind and say, look, I'm not gonna make the grandmother ghetto and in jail all the time because I don't want to portray black women as that all the time. I'm not gonna make her go to church and portray black women as. I'm just tired of seeing that. I watched Good Times. We was poor. Why can't we get up?
So why not get married?
If you have a market and then you're making money, what would the sense be of changing your market? Barack Obama, for instance, he gets in the office and black people are upset because every black agenda is not being pushed through.
Right away.
But it's like, homie, like this is what he does. Like this is his thing. He's always played these roles, and like we can't expect every black person to take on every black mission. It's on the person who's upset with it to be the person to push something else.
To do that.
Right. I'm gonna push the other agenda. I'm gonna make sure people are seen in a better light.
And what are we doing today to be that? You know what I mean? What are we doing out there to, okay, we don't like something, are we being the change we want to see? No, we're not. So to end this and kind of conclude it, like my question is, it seems like if you're successful, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, is that so then where is it that we fall? What is it as young adults that we do? Do we just be content with where we are, or do we go?
They say rappers make it because they're thirsty. And it is that thirst, like an animal looking for water in the desert, doesn't stop. That animal keeps going until it finds that. And even if it doesn't, that journey will take you along, so many different things and so many different experiences as humans. But the journey of what I should believe in is going to take me where I need to be, as opposed to just saying, look, I give up. And, giving up and saying, yo, man, it was Jay-Z. And, that instead of saying, it's me. And if I want to do it, then I'm going to get bigger than Jay-Z. And that's what Jay-Z was probably thinking. Look, I want to do something. I'm going to get bigger than this person who I admire, who I hate. And that journey got him where he wanted to be. We should see that struggle as, look, this is what one man struggled over another man's, and he did it. So I'm going to do what I want. Right. Barack Obama, everybody's playing fence, so you're good or bad, doesn't matter. You did it, and you tried, and you didn't give up. And that's the difference between, the people at the bottom and the people, climbing up.
I believe that we're on the cusp of something else, and of the next revolution and the next movement. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. So to your point, I think it is people stepping up and taking it to the next level. I think we're due for that.
I feel like we're due for a revolution.
Even stuff like this though, because because you imagine our parents don't never sat around in a room and talked about the government. And when my mom said to me that when JFK died and all that happened, maybe some people thought oh, this is such a conspiracy theory, but you never talked about that kind of stuff. You didn't talk about people killing your president. Even when you got a bad president, my mom's era, you had to talk good about your president. You never talk no mess. We still are like developing in our own freedom.
We're still kind of barbarians in our own sense, where we're still kind of not letting ourselves grow throughout the years as we should be, because we should be growing pretty fast.
So is this a baby form of a revolution, or is this just a conversation?
This is a baby form of a revolution. It's just a lot of people are confused on how to do it. We're all gonna not support any rap that uses the word nigger. And how would that would change people? Now hold on, now he can't sell records being like this.
Yeah, nobody's calling into the radio station requesting the songs or doing any of those things. And I feel like that. I mean, we should be there definitely by now. And you know,
what would it take to get there?
Just people. It would take people. There's a lot of like people who want to stay in the like this.
If you ever look at watching a television show, when you watch a television show and a commercial comes on, is it a commercial for that demographic? Most of the time. If I watch Cartoon Network, I'm going to see commercials for toys because that's the demographic that they're playing to. So Hot 97's commercials is Dr. J's and Dub Rims and this and that. So they know how to, so you know how to kind of lasso people in and say, look, we're gonna give you something that you like and also tell you that you like.
Conspiracy or good marketing?
Marketing is a conspiracy. Marketing is about appealing not only to what people like. Good marketing is also making people think that they like it.
Or that they
like an iPod.
Yeah.
You think.
I was gonna say Apple.
You think that you like it, and that's good marketing. Apple. If you go in the business world, everybody raves Apple for their marketing because they created a demographic. They created a type of people that's gonna like Apple.
And so maybe Illuminati is a conspiracy because we think people are in the Illuminati. So then we buy the album. So we listen to it. You know what I mean? And we're trying to figure out how is he, or we watch this. We follow these people because we have been marketed to do
it is
or
perfect
not.
Marketing. My mom listened to Jay-Z's last album. Why? Because she thought he was in the Illuminati. She heard it at church. She heard it wherever. That's one more person listening to Jay-Z. That's money in his pocket.
These forums, they keep his name running. Like whether you like him or you don't like him, you're gonna be writing on the internet about him.
Kanye says that all the time. Hate me or not, at least I'm getting paid.
Right.
Even if before they didn't know me, I wasn't getting paid. Now you hate me or you love me. Money is coming. That's all they think about. So it is great marketing. It's great marketing and advertisement, and you have to kind of if you want to. The best way to keep things in production is to farm them. We developed that a long time ago. When you want to keep cows, you can't just slaughter all of them. That's where you can't just make all your money off of people. You got to keep them making money. You got to keep them in that circle. So you have to get their kids, and you have to make them grow up like that so that they can also want that. Marketing, advertisement has become slavery. It's become, let me find a way to slave this person without them knowing about it. And that's what they freed slaves and said, look, we freed y'all, that's what you think. But we also found ways to enslave you so many other ways.
Like perms, I think perms.
Perm is one.
And
Right, you find ways to enslave people still. And it's better than whipping
welfare.
them. But nobody knows.
Definitely.
It's way better than whipping people because nobody knows about it.
And that's where, as people, we need to educate ourselves. Because whether it's a conspiracy or not, whether Illuminati is real or fake, there's a certain level of realness in all of this, in the marketing and conspiracy, and in all of this that we talked about with presidents, entertainment, and so forth. So if you want to join in on the next discussion on your perspective, I would love to hear your perspective. It would be dope for you to come, sit, let's chat, educate yourself. Peace. Thanks, guys. Great.